Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's get back to your comments and possibly questions about the review I did on Militia Man. Something very interesting happened in the comments. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold, silver, or any other precious metals, head on over to our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description, or just type in www.moneymetals.com/Pimpy. If you make a purchase when you follow that link, you will automatically be entered for a chance to win 10 free silver ounces. So get started today, and hopefully your stack will start to look like this real soon. So head on over, tell them Pimpy sent you. You can follow me over on other platforms. I do have my own group over on Facebook called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. So head on over here and join us. It's free to do so. In here I do post updates if I should get on suspension from YouTube or get removed from YouTube and you want to know what happened to me, I'll let you know right here in this group. I can be found on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, and the cool thing about YouTube, if you come over here and you join and you find my channel, I got videos going back, I believe, a couple years. So if you want to see some older videos that I have on Nasera, Jacera, gold, silver, cryptos, come on over here and join. Look me up and check out my videos. You can also find me on Odyssey. Catch me on Rumble. When I say that the links for all these are down below in the description, some of you don't know what I'm talking about. It's real simple. Just go down to the bottom right here of any of my videos. See this? This is the description. Hit show more. And there are all the links to all the platforms I just spoke about. So if you do want to head on over to Money Metals, just click it. And there you are. So come on over. Join us. I look forward to having you. Okay, usually what happens if I get one person asking me about a particular video, I'll comment on it. If I get 2 or 3 people, I'll comment on it. But when I start getting 4, 5, 6 people asking me the same thing about my opinion about a particular individual or a video, I'll usually respond in a video. Just because I don't want to say the same thing over and over and over. It's better for me to respond in the video so that I can answer all the questions that are being asked of me in the group. People ask me about Militia Man. Usually when it comes to other so-called dinar gurus, I say, look, to each their own. If you guys like him and he makes you feel good, then you guys should listen to him. But they were saying, hey, Pimpy, you know, you were saying the deletion of the zeros comes off the currency. He's saying it comes off the exchange rate. And I was like, well, that's his opinion. And the people are like, well, which one's right? Many of you guys asked me over and over. I said, well, let's hear what he has to say. Let's see if he could explain where he gets his opinion from. And so I responded to the video. And the truth of the matter was, half the crap he was saying, I had no idea what the hell he was talking about. He would bring up a point, but never bring it to a closure. He mumbled most of the time. I didn't know what he was saying. So I said so in the video. But something did happen in the comments that I think is very interesting, and we'll talk about that. So here's the video that I'm talking about. Let's go down to comments. He makes total sense if you listen from beginning to end. He is very grounded. Well, I've listened to him from beginning to end, and he makes no sense to me. That's why I said, good Lord, I must have to drink in order to understand him, because he's all over the board. Seriously. He started off talking about one subject and then went to another, and I was like, wait, are all these tied together? Is there going to be a conclusion of his point? And he never did make that conclusion. Dr. Evil. Not only are the zeros going to be dropped, it's going to go to 4 to 1. Just keep the faith and it will happen. Or something like that. Yeah, you know, here's my thing. The truth of the matter is, and I said this before, I'm explaining one option. I'm explaining about a particular article. That article only spoke about the deletion of the zeros off the currency and nothing else. It didn't say anything else about the exchange rate. And people assume that if you delete the zeros off of the currency, then that means you're going to do the same thing to the exchange rate. That's why I highlighted several times in there. I said, look, what's it say right here? The deletion of the zeros off the currency does not affect the international exchange rate. And that was for a reason. Now, this is a first. I will give him credit. Militia Man actually responded. Most of the time, the other so-called gurus, or I should say the Dinar YouTubers, don't even have the balls to respond. They just don't. So shout out to Militia Man. At least he responded. He said, Pimpy, I am not related to Jeff. I'm not sure that's true. You guys do look alike and you guys talk alike. My data came from the Central Bank of Iraq. Well, that's fine. I use the data over on the Central Bank of Iraq as well. Thanks for the support. Patreon with Militia Man crew is filling up fast. Much appreciated. Good. I'm glad I can help. If people like what you have to say, I have no problem with it. I'm not out there going, don't listen to Militia Man. I didn't say that. I'm just saying that the video that I was reviewing, I had a hard time understanding where he was coming from. Go down here, it says, don't waste your time with the bully. Well, yeah, okay, if you say I'm a bully, no problem. I understand that. Cushmaster says, at Joy, hey, I bet you a Patreon member, aren't you? Yeah, my guess is that, yeah, she is. Because usually when people attack me after I make a video like that, come to find out, they are paying money for somebody's subscription, and they don't want to feel embarrassed about their membership after I say what I say, and so they end up defending the individual. Look, I get it. If you want to spend your money getting your so-called intel from those individuals, then do it. I'm not a hater. Go ahead. As a matter of fact, I'm one of the only so-called Dinar YouTubers that go out there and say, don't just listen to me. You should listen to everybody so you can formulate your own opinion. I never say don't listen to people. As always, you're a rock solid pimpster. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm one of the only individuals out there that will leave a link to where I get the information from. Nobody else does. I like how they go, I will leave my link here, but no. Because you're going to find out that the information that they get is available to the public, and the fact that you're paying for it, you should be embarrassed about. He doesn't want to share all his info because he wants people to either just donate to his channel or join his Patreon channel for money. Well, you know, hey, to each his own. If people are willing to give him money because they believe what he is saying, instead of actually doing the research to find out that the so-called data, the secret data that they got is free and available to the public, then by all means, boo-boo to you, you know. But nobody out there has any secret access or secret, you know, data, or nobody has that secret so-called insider. Nobody does. I don't care what they tell you. They're full of shit, okay? Between the two of you and others, I can't decipher the truth. You did go over the top in regards to him not knowing what he's talking about. Yeah, I might have went a little bit, but it wasn't so much that I was going over the top about what he was talking about. What it was trying to figure out what the hell he was talking about. You know, he kept going on, and he was all over the map. He would start by opening up on a subject, but never put closure to it. And I was like, what the hell is this guy saying? Did I go over the top? It's possible I do that from time to time, but I was more frustrated than anything else. People were curious about my opinion against what he was saying. Well, it's kind of hard to give my opinion if I have no idea what the hell the guy's saying. You know what I mean? I'm not sure he was talking about you personally. Too bad we all can't see the end to this peacefully. No need to get drunk. Well, how I felt like I needed to because I had no idea what he was doing. But yeah, look, I don't hate anybody. Some people go, well, why do you hate this person? I go, no, I never said I hated them. I don't hate them. But whenever people are out there sharing misinformation, well, then I might make a correction to it. Most of the time, I don't care. If people want to believe them, then more power to you. But if they're doing it intentionally, and you can usually tell in videos when somebody is intentionally misleading people, I don't think that's cool. I don't like when people use God. Oh, God put it upon me, or God told me. No, God didn't tell you shit. I can tell you right now, that's a lie. Okay, so when you do that kind of crap, I don't like it. And so I will say something about it. I get it with your point. What I don't understand is why do they go through the trouble on embarrassing themselves in public, social media? The truth of the matter, why they do that, it's because they actually have a following. So the fact that people will actually listen to them and believe what they're saying is why they continue to move forward. I've challenged many, and I'll do it again today. I will challenge any and all of those so-called dinar gurus or dinar YouTubers out there to come on my channel and have a conversation about why you think I'm wrong or why you might think I'm right. You know, either way. And have a discussion. We can do it in a respectful way without attacking one another and getting all personal. You don't need to do that. It's been, what, a year and a half since I started making this challenge, and not a single person, not one dinar YouTuber out there has ever requested to come on my show, or I can go on their show. It doesn't make a difference to me. It's like the whole Nasara Jasara. I challenge people to come on my show and offer to give them $1,000 if they can come on my show and prove that I'm wrong. And none of them have ever taken that offer up. So, you know, I can't do anything about it when they won't come on my show and have a gentleman's conversation or a gentlewoman's conversation about why we have differences in opinions on things. For all of you that's been in this for a while, here's how it is going to happen. Reinstatement or revaluation. That will remove the zeros. For that, we'll make your 25,000 to 25 dinars. At this point, they will reinstate the 322 rate, so your original 25,000 note will be worth $80.50. So if you have $1 million dinar, after they delete the zeros, then reinstate the rate, you now have not the windfall everybody has been thinking. Yeah, okay, so that is a major possibility. That is something that I'm concerned about, but I can't get mad if they do that, because I have 5 million dinars. It didn't cost me but just a little over $1,000 to get it. Okay? So if that happens and it gets to the 322 rate, well, then I'm walking away with $15,000. That's 15 times the amount I invested in. I'm not going to be depressed because I'm not a millionaire. I'm going to be happy that I made 15 times my original investment. But I do understand a lot of you out there that if this should happen and you're upset because you thought you were going to be a millionaire, yeah, I understand. I understand why you're upset. You guys believe the hype out there. I try to show optimism of the different options and scenarios in which it could go. But if it goes down this path, a lot of people are going to be upset. Now, I'm not saying this is the route they're going to take. I'm saying that's most likely the option that they're going to choose. That doesn't mean that is the final one. I'm saying that's a possibility. Great comparison. I appreciate. No problem. Thanks, Pimpy. Good stuff. You're welcome. I follow Militia Man. He's got the best info out there. No, he don't. I can tell you before I continue reading. He does not have the best info out there. Oh, my God. If you think he's got the best info out there, well, continue. As a matter of fact, if you think he has the best info out there, let me encourage you to go to his Patreon and pay for his information. Go on ahead. I don't discourage you to do. I want you to go out there and pay for that info. To each their own how they believe, but I totally relate to AT. Again, believe how you want. Hey, look, I'm not discouraging you. Go out there and pay for his Patreon and get that information. If you guys love and support Militia Man and you have faith in him, I am not going to discourage you from listening to him. Go out there and join his Patreon group. What did he say it was? Let's see. Join his Patreon group with Militia Man and crew. I believe is the name of his Patreon. I don't know. But yeah, you guys go out there and join him. If you guys like what he's saying, if you support what he is saying, you guys heard him on my video, go check out his YouTube channel, listen to what he has to say. If you like it, then join it. Thank you, Pimpy. You're welcome. What amazes me is that you have not stressed this view all these years. No, I try to remain optimistic is what it is, but I never misled people. I kept hoping that they would take a path that would be best for us. I don't want to depress people way back then, and I still don't want to depress people now. And I'm not even saying that my opinion is the route they're going to go. I'm just saying that's always a possibility. Thanks, Pimpy. I have a question for you. Do you remember when Kuwait Ravid? I absolutely do. I don't, but the gurus I used to listen to say that it was just like the Iraqi dinar is now. Do you have anything to say about then and now? No, it is two different things. Look, you have apples and oranges. Sure, I agree, they're both fruit, but that don't make it the same drink, if you get my drift. It is not the same thing. So when Kuwait was invaded by Iraq, they devalued the currency to keep from losing their wealth. So their currency was devalued because they were invaded. Iraq's dinar was devalued as a punishment. Two different things. People assume that they're related. I've done plenty of videos showing people that there's no relations between the two dinars. Pimpy, I'm shocked. If you have a difference of opinion, call the guy. Yeah, it'd be nice. I just don't know how to reach him. I have no idea how to reach the guy. Like I said, I am offering him a invite to come join me on the channel so him and I can speak together. Like I said, it doesn't have to be rude. We don't have to be disrespectful. We could just have a gentleman's opinion about why we think the way we do, and people could just listen to what we're saying. They've deliberately tried to confuse everybody. Therefore, conclusion drawn may differ. Airing laundry online before all the facts are out. Well, I don't air laundry. I don't have nothing against anybody out there trying to make a living doing YouTube. When you purposely go out of your way to invoke God and mislead people, and I think you're being deceptive, I will say so. But Militia Man's not. That's just his opinion on what it is he's reading. More power to him. Yeah, I don't hate anybody. But if he wants to come on my channel, or if he wants me to go on his channel and have an actual debate, I'm open to it. But look, not a single so-called dinar YouTuber out there has ever taken me up on this offer, because they'll get their ass kicked in a debate. Oh my God, this guy has not finished one point. I bet he's the guy who has the secret codes. He just can't tell you. There you go. Look, I played the video so you guys can hear how he talks. I was listening and I was like, wait, what? Where's he going with this? He didn't even have a conclusion to what he was saying. I was lost. I wasn't being smartassy. I was being serious. I did poke fun of it after a while. I was like, look, you guys want me to try to decipher what he's saying, to listen to his opinion about how it is that he came up to the conclusion that he did? It's impossible to do. He's all over the map. He makes no sense. He rambles on. Yeah, it's really hard for me to come up with any kind of conclusion about how it is he came to the point that he did if I can't understand the words he is saying. You're right, Pimpy. Thank you. If you're right, then this would be a 1,000 devaluation, and it is an awful investment. Well, it's not a matter if I'm right or not. I'm just saying this is my opinion. Nobody out there could debunk what I'm saying. The article was pertaining to the currency. Nothing else. Had nothing to do with the actual exchange rate. They might surprise you and say that they're going to change the exchange rate first. Yay. Then we make out like bandits. Yay. And then they turn around and redenominate the currency. I'm just saying, according to that article, they're specifically and solely talking about the deletion of the zeros on the currency. If that's the route they go, even if they do reinstate the 322 rate, you can understand how a lot of people are not going to be walking away millionaires like they think. LOL, you called him Jeffrey and then corrected yourself. Yeah, I was being sarcastic. Pimpy, have a debate with Militia Man. That would settle everything. Yeah, look, again, I'm inviting him on my platform, or I can go on his platform, but they're not going to take me up on it. No YouTuber out there has ever taken me up on the offer. Unfortunately, it doesn't have to be rude or disrespectful. We can just have a conversation. Start and stop the RV process. Pimpy, pay attention. I've seen the data about the deletion of the zeros interpreted as the deletion off the exchange rate long before I ever saw your channel appear. Do I believe it is absolute truth? No. Does MM do a poor job explaining it? Yes. Hey, look, I'm only talking about the article, not the exchange rate. People are confusing the two. You can see right here. Listen to what Maverick has to say. I've seen data about the deletion of the zeros interpreted as deletions off the exchange rate. I've seen articles too that talk about the deletion off the exchange rate, but the article that everybody keeps referring to has nothing at all to do with the exchange rate. I showed you guys. It's called a redenomination. And what does it say? Even on Wikipedia, what's it say about the deletion of the zeros off of the currency? That it has nothing to do with the exchange rate, man. People are like, look, if they delete the zeros off the denominations, then look, we're going to delete the zeros off the exchange rate. No, you're not. Nobody says they're going to do that. I'm just pointing out that I don't want you guys to confuse the two things is all I'm doing. I agree, Pimpy. I have a hard time understanding what Militia Man is saying. It doesn't make sense. Rapid updates. He is like you. He gives receipts. He also doesn't agree with hype. He used to be Twisted Christian. And he's a person, I've actually heard a few of his videos. Sometimes we don't agree on things, but a lot of times we're on the same page. Again, I'm not out there to talk about which one's better than the other, but just go to the one that you like is all it is. Over time, you'll start to figure out which ones are full of crap and which ones are not. My only warning to everybody out there that is invested in the Iraqi dinar is this. Don't let the things that make your ears feel good be the things that you believe. It's like when we go fishing, we have this saying, don't let the lure attract you more than it does the fish. Listen to what people are saying, good, bad, or ugly, okay? Just because somebody's telling you something that you don't like to hear doesn't mean that they're wrong. If all you're doing is listening to dinar YouTubers who are pumping hopium out there, you're going to get your ass kicked when it comes to investments, and you're going to lose a ton of money. Just be careful. Could you maybe employ a whiteboard to explain this subject, please? Yeah, somebody's asked me about that before. That's something I'll take in consideration. It's actually something I might do. He's a fool as well as the others. Militia Man was with Frank26 before. Anyways, I listened to a number of you guys. Pimpy, Frank26, Mark Z, Militia Man, and Nader. Some say this and some say that, so I'll wait to know who will be the right one between all of you. I thought Nader was a good one because he said he was from Iraq, but lately he seems to be in Florida and takes his infos from a man who lives in California. It appears that way sometimes, doesn't it? And he has some arguments with Frank26 and vice versa, so it puts a little more fun in the dinar community. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, these people from Iraq have been sprouting up doing YouTube videos talking about dinar. And I see this guy talk about the dinar exchange rate's going to be 522. And then he doesn't explain why. But people are gravitating to him and they go, this guy's more credible because he's in Iraq. Just because you're in Iraq doesn't make you more credible. This person tried to tell me, yes, they do, Pimpy. They get the news way before we do. What do you mean way before we do? Depends on what hour you are up in the day. Since I have trouble sleeping and I'm insomnia, trust me, when the news comes out, I get it just as quick as they do. So just be careful not to get caught up in that idea. I like Nader. He's a cool guy. And I don't believe his information just because he's from Iraq. I just listen to what he has to say. Listen to the info. Focus on the info. That should help you determine who you believe and what you don't believe. Just because a person's in Iraq don't make them more credible than somebody else. I've been a member of Militia Man and crew and have silently thought that his explanations were not coherent enough to convince me of anything really. The odd thing is that people are always praising him and saying how this cleared up their concerns and was a perfect explanation every single time. Well, what's to keep somebody like me from creating, 10, 15 fake accounts and then commenting under my own video and just saying, oh, how great I am. Anybody could do that. Just be careful about that stuff. Listen to your instincts. That's it. The strange thing was that Mark Z also praises these and talks about how good and informative they are. I was beginning to think it was just me losing my mind. Thanks, Pimpy, for telling me what I needed to hear and not just what I wanted to hear. That's okay, right there, Blue. You said it right on the money. People should be careful when you hear information about dinar. Don't just listen to the things you want to hear, but listen to the things you should hear. That's a big difference. People come on YouTube for your donations, and for the people that listen to this guy just don't know better and take this guy's BS as a credible source. And even though it doesn't make sense and a link to reference to, somebody asked me to listen to what he had to say because he wasn't agreeing with me. And I thought, okay, maybe in this video, he's going to explain why he thinks the deletion is going to be off the exchange rate and not the banknotes. Nowhere in there, man. He started to talk about it and then zoop, totally lost me. So that was just my opinion, but I can see right now a lot of you guys are just as confused as I am. Reminds me of the guy from the movie Trailer Park Boys. Unless you guys know who the Trailer Park Boys are, you're not going to get that reference, and that is pretty funny. Militia Man and Cult. I posted a well-constructed opposing view. He then tells me to show him proof as he is showing his, and then responded to him. And he then deleted it. Typical. Yeah, that's usually what happens. Look, when you go after these guys and you challenge them and you say, where are the receipts? I love how they always say, I just got it from my Intel guy and that should be good enough. Or they say, well, then you show me yours before I show you mine. Then you show them, and then they just delete you because they don't want people finding out that they're full of crap is what it is. Normally, I don't care about New Year's Eve and sometimes getting into bed before midnight just for the sake of it. This year, I have something to look forward to, posting my video of his prediction come 2024. Well... Let me guess that he's predicting that before 2024 it will RV, is what I'm guessing. There you go. But I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, IQD. I'm going to tell you right now. It's not going to happen, and what they're going to say is, they're going to give you some excuse why they're kicking the can down the road is what's going to happen. They always do that. There are some YouTubers that have been talking about the same crap now for 10, 15 years. I can go through and do Frank 26, I could do Mark Z videos in which they're telling you, we heard by the end of this week several times. I could make a whole video of like a collage of them making these predictions. And they never happen, but they always got an excuse right behind it. Hey, look, if that's their barbecue, more power to them. That's just not mine. I'm not going to push out their false predictions. I've had fun doing silly things from time to time, but I will tell you in advance it's silly just because of something somebody else says, just to emphasize the stupidity of what they're saying. He charges money. He's a con artist. Yeah, he charges money. So does a lot of other people out there. Here we are after so many years and nothing. Wow, a decade of wasted time, and everybody who said bless you and your family. I'm like, well, you're not taking us to the promised land. You're fatting your pockets with donation and YouTube checks. I do have an alternative channel called Pimpy's News Network, but it's usually doing videos that I can't say here on YouTube. So just come here. It's free. I'll tell you what you need to know. I'll leave the link down below so you can double check what I'm saying. Try to find another YouTuber out there that is sharing the links. Let them go ahead and do that. Instead of them saying, well, my data comes from the Central Bank of Iraq, and therefore it's private and personal. No, any information you get off the Central Bank of Iraq, I can get it as well. And there's nothing on the Central Bank of Iraq that's telling you that the deletions come off the exchange rate and not the currency. Go for the neck. Pimpy, if you know the truth, why aren't you telling us instead of trying to kill him? I don't know what you're talking about. Have you been listening to my videos? I've been explaining to people, just be careful about your expectations. So it's not a matter of whether I know the truth. I'm just giving my opinion based on the information that's being shared. I don't claim to have some special insider information. The things that they're misleading you about is publicly known. But if you read the information carefully, you will see that this crap that they're telling you is false. It has nothing to do with the exchange rate. As soon as they say Patreon, I'm out. Oh, I hear you. He's Mark Z's buddy. What do you expect? Is that what it is? Okay. He's having a stroke. Oh, God, I hope not. That's not cool if he is. This is pathetic. It is. This is why I stopped watching you. John has health problems and you're making fun of him. My hood has mercy on you. Talk about John Fitterman. No, the point is, why the hell Democrats would even have him in office? Do you realize that John Fitterman did not want to run? He knew he had to take time to heal, to recover. And they kept pushing him into office, literally pushing him in there. And then they got people like you going, oh, feel sorry for John Fitterman. I don't feel sorry for him. The fact that he's in there representing anybody is a true danger to this republic. The whole entire Democratic Party is filled with mindless, babbling, senile people who can't even think for themselves. That's bad. I don't know when America decided it was okay to put a half-brain dead stroke victim in office, or 1, 2, 3 Democratic Dianne Feinstein, Pelosi, and Biden, when they thought it was okay to put these onset of early dementia members in office to represent who we are. That's not okay. It's not a matter of making fun about them. That's just a God-given truth. They should not be in office. But they're not there because of their opinions. They're there because they're puppets and people tell them what to say. Look, it might not be what you guys were hoping for. I'm the one that said it's going to happen in increments. All right, I'm the one that said this. But you guys should stop to think about what I'm saying and understand that would be a good thing. Because if it's going in small increments, then that means they're more likely to keep the 3 zeros on, and we could benefit from it via the exchange rate. Because as the Iraqi dinar gains in value against the US dollar and we continue to hold on to these larger denominations, we get more money back. But if all of a sudden they decide, hey, we want to jump to 322, the odds are they're more likely going to delete the zeros first before they do that. So hang tight with the dinars we have, pray that they do it in increments, and then we have an opportunity to make money as the exchange rate continues to change for our betterment. As the dinar becomes stronger, you will end up with more money than the other way around. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, Militia Man, hey, you're more than welcome, my friend, to come on this channel, or I could come on yours. It doesn't have to be bitter. It doesn't have to be disrespectful. We can share opinions about the dinar and see what we come up with. All right? Anyways, there you go again, you guys out there sticking up for Militia Man. I'm doing it again. I am laying it out there for the whole world to see. If you want to come on my show or me come on your show and have a respectful debate, here is the invitation. But just understand, you guys, nobody is going to take me up on this invitation because I'm right is why. Anyways, that's it for now. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will catch you later. I'm out.